Okay, so now let's go ahead and move to joint C. I've gone ahead and drawn my joint here, and I drew in my reaction force RCY. I need to draw in a force for BC and a force for CD, okay? And I know that RCY is going in this direction up. The only force I'm going to have to counteract that in the Y direction is in member BC. So I know it has to come down in Y. Alright, so when I draw it down in Y, I've also made it negative in X. So that means that CD is going to need to be positive in the X direction. Alright, so let's go ahead and label those FBC. And this one is going to be FCD. Alright. So move those labels where you can see them a little better. Now this angle is here, okay, on our triangle, on our truss. And if I look at this, okay, there's an imaginary right triangle here, okay. So this angle C is the tangent of the opposite over the adjacent. Okay, the opposite is still the height, 6 feet. The adjacent is this piece, okay, that I'm drawing a pink line on right now, is going to be the total length of the truss minus the 8 feet. So it's going to be 12 minus 8, that's 4, and we end up getting that is equal to 56.3 degrees. Alright, so now we just use our same sum of forces X, sum of forces Y. Alright, again I'm going to do sum of forces Y first because I will have one equation and one unknown. FBC will be my only unknown. Okay, is 0.667 kips, and that's due to RCY, minus FBC times the sine of, we said that angle, we found it right there, is 56.3 degrees. Okay. So, what happened there? So FBC is going to be equal to the 0.667 kips divided by the sine of 56.3, and FBC will be equal to 0.802 kips. Okay, my number came out positive. Right? So since my number came out positive, I know I drew it correctly, and that is with the arrow pointing towards the joint, so that means my member is in compression, and I put a C after it. Okay? Now, do the sum of forces X. That's equal to 0 as well. Alright? When I do the sum of forces X, I know that I just have FCD and FBC's X component. So I do FCD was positive minus FBCX, which is equal to FCD minus 0.802 times cosine 56.3. Okay, and that's going to give us FCD is equal to 0.445 kips. Okay, now that one's pointed going away from the joint, and that means it's in tension. Okay, it came out positive, we drew it that way, so it's in tension. Alright, so that gives us joint C. Now, the only member right now we do not know all the forces in is this one BD, And the easiest thing to do is to probably just go ahead and move on to joint D. All right.